Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, joined by Cameruption, aka Cammy,
Hello.
for our Underdogs mid-season check-in here, just to talk about APA a little bit, how our seasons are going. Unfortunately, the doc is not up to date, so cannot tell you where both of us sit, because Blenn's a bad commissioner. No, I'm just joking. Blenn's a bad commissioner. The doc hasn't been updated, so.
Those mods, they're just not doing it.
Aren't you an Indigo mod?
No. No, we'll hopefully get that updated today, tomorrow, sometime.
Yeah, because I'm still sitting at 2-3 minus 12 when I should be 3-3 minus 9. So I could, in theory, be anywhere from 16th to let's see, to 12. Those are all positions that I could potentially be in. And Cammy, you're down in 17th.
So I'm 2-4, but and pretty much I don't know. Well, I could be moved up a little bit. I don't know. There's a bunch of 2-3 teams, so some of them lost. I might bump up to like maybe 13 or 14, but so it hasn't been the greatest start for me, but hopefully I can turn some stuff around.
Yeah, it looks like you started hot with a 3-0 win, but then ran into some issues.
Yeah, I had this week 6 game, I just snapped a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, and it's well documented that I didn't start that hot. I went 1-2 before going 2-1 over my last 3, but it's been a rough season. This I don't know how it's been for you, but this season has really tried my thought process in being a coach and my commitment to it, because the way the season has gone has made me want to stop numerous times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually I feel kind of the same way. Like, it's been, I don't know, my season's been kind of all over the place, because like, it was a pretty good start, like beating SV, and then I knew Crow was gonna be a tough game. But what's really frustrating for me is that as you can see, it looked like you had my team page pulled up. I don't know if you still do, but of the four losses, like 3 of them were like extremely winnable games. I just kind of found some weird way, like one turn where I did something wrong, or my game versus Jake where I forgot to give my Jirachi speed or enough speed for Arcanine, just really dumb stuff like that.
Yeah, that was really impressive that you guys managed to 0-0 that one. I mean, your team is not bad at all. Like, you've got a solid FDS core. Your Firewater Grass core is pretty good. You've got some bulky, tanky Mons. Like, it's just been a season of bad breaks.
And then also to note, it was regarding IRL stuff. I was super weeks, like I believe it was 3 and 4, where the weeks where I was like super stressed out at like work and like crazy busy. So it was like definitely not my best prep for sure.
Yeah, outside issues can really have an effect on you, and
really can.
It's just as bad as losing games, because, like, for me, when I lost to Photon, then I proceeded to lose my first match at Mount Silver. It was a 6-0. Then Dix came back and 6-0'd me, and then I lost 5-0 in Mount Silver right after playing Dix. So in my first 4 games in Gen 8, I'd gone minus 21. 0-4 minus 21, and you know, each loss, it stacks on you.
And they really do, like,
especially 6-0s, like to get back-to-back 6-0s within a day of each other.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It wears on you, and I messaged Panther saying, I'm sorry, I can't live up to the challenge that you gave to me, and I feel like I failed because at the time, I think I was 1-3 or something like that, and they haven't been close. Like, the wins could very easily be losses. I almost choked. Other than my win versus Chad, like, I could have very easily been 0-5. It's rough. I mean, Photon was me running the wrong ability, and that was, you know, it's new gen, not quite sure how the new mons work. Had I just been Mirror Arm or Corviknight, I wouldn't have gotten it dropped like that.
Hey.
I was thoroughly outclassed by Dix. Hacker I managed to beat because he didn't run fake out on his Persian. Combat just blew me apart. Jed, I almost choked the game away to Jed. If he hadn't been min speed Rotom, I might have had some issues because he could have knocked Corviknight out, and that would have been it for me. So it's been a very, very turbulent season, and you haven't made any free agents though, have you?
Oh, I like. I mean, I think it's a decent team. It's like I don't really see too many better options, at least at the current moment. Hitmonchan is now, like, I think it's at 5th place in the MVP race, so that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's really crazy.
It was if you had a chance to watch it, but if not, it was kind of funny. My week 6 game that I played a couple days ago versus Insanity, it looked really close, like I was about to just completely lose to Hacks because, like, I was getting crit, and then funnily enough, I tried to run Heart Stamp Jirachi, found out that Heart Stamp got Thanos Snap, so I was like, whatever, I guess I'll just run Zen Headbutt then. You know, it's still 90% accurate. And then I missed the Zen Headbutt on the weekend Charizard and got Fire Blasted into Oblivion.
Big yikes there.
Yeah. Yeah. But bulk up Hitmonchan.
Yeah.
Is the day.
So, we both, being the old crew, we're supposed to be the ones making playoffs and advancing this season. Like, that's kind of how, I don't know if Panther ever said that to you, but that was the impression that I've gotten, is that you and I, it was time for us to start showing up.
Huh.
And, like, we're at the midway point, and I reset my team, you didn't, so we'll see how it goes going forward, because I have one move left, but I dumped the mons that I wasn't comfortable with. Yes, I know, I brought more Pekko back. Okay, sue me. I needed a dark type. That was the best option we had, but this generation, the limited number of mons and all that, it really just, there are points where it's very uncomfortable.
For sure.
And, like, Trevenant was really uncomfortable. Also, is Thwacky's speed base 50? I thought it was faster than that.
I have no idea.
I'm checking, because when I looked it up, I thought it was faster than that. Yeah, it's base 80, so it's wrong on the dock.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was faster than that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I dumped the stuff that I wasn't comfortable with, and that was Rapidash, which just didn't go well. Trevenant was awkward for me, and Boltund I swapped for more Morpeko because I needed a Dark type really bad because my team was super Ghost weak. We'll see how it goes, but I mean, unfortunately you didn't end up 3-3 like me, but your differential's better. So I guess at the halfway point, we both have a chance to reset. We're both relatively close in the playoff chase to make it in if we can just win a few more games. We both, well, you have better differential, I've got the better record, but and luckily we don't play each other, so I don't know, looking at your schedule versus looking at mine, how you feel, but
I've got some tough matches.
Whereas I see, I wouldn't call them I'm gonna win them, but they're games that I have a chance in. They're people that I've played and I know their play style, and so I could, in theory, beat them if I play correctly versus them, because I've faced off with Torn before. I know how he plays. It's a game that I stand a chance in. Thriller and I have squared off so many times I can't even count. Insanity and I have squared off a couple of times. Last time, I think I salt haxed him, and he was really upset about that. And Jake and I have squared off, and I know how Jake plays. So, to me, those are all 4 games that could be very, very close, and games that could help me dictate playoffs. Matrix and Kane, they're too complete. I don't know who they are, so we'll see. But I do have optimism again after getting 2 wins in a row and making changes to the team. Like, having a team that makes me feel comfortable again. Like, I've never used Flareon, but it's a better fire type for me to try. Morpeko, I understand where my early season mistakes were. Thwacky, Rillaboom came naturally to me just doing an LP, and when I've done it on laddering at times, Rillaboom has come kind of naturally to me. So I'm thinking, okay, if Thwacky doesn't have as much power output, but still, it might be comfortable.
Does it have the same hit ability?
Yes, they have Grassy Surge.
Nice.
So Thwacky gives me Grassy Surge. Which really is only... It's nice for Flareon and Morpeko, but Rhyperior doesn't necessarily appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I had to do something. The team wasn't comfortable. It wasn't flowing right. I was not feeling good going into matches, and here I am. Now I'm feeling better. It's 6 weeks and a new slate. Differential sucks, but that's normal for APA. How do you feel about your half of the season?
I'm a little nervous, and just in terms of, I know Ton, Pokefan, and Dix are pretty good. So those are definitely going to be some... I mean, obviously, you can't count anybody out in this league.
Hax is a win con.
The win con. I do have Serene Grace, so maybe I'll just have to Ironhead some people to death.
Paraflinch for days.
I was actually going to take Jirachi Togekiss, but it got sniped.
God, that would have been so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, realistically, for end of season? Can you get to 6-6 again, do you think?
I think I can. I feel like I'll finish probably 6-6, maybe 7-5 I can kick it into high gear, but we'll have to see.
That's it. If you make 6-6 and I make 6-6, it's gonna be tough for that playoff spot. Because I think you and I are stuck in the middle of that jumble right now of 3-3 teams. 2-4, 3, because we're so tightly packed right now. Only like 4 teams have actually separated themselves pretty far. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, and those of you that are watching and tracking that, like, Cammy and I really are in a position where, even though we're the old crew that's been here forever, we are underdogs still. We're both not in playoffs right now. I have terrible differential. I actually am tied for, I think I'm tied for worst differential right now. I am. And you've got a massive tie for record. So the battle for playoffs is going to be very, very hard. While I have a win, my differential is just so terrible. It's right back to square one, basically. Let's see if we can fight our way from, because I seriously doubt people would expect, especially early season, you and I to make playoffs after seeing what we went through. So, I don't know. Even though we're at the top, we're still underdogs. But I'm not giving up.
I'm just one of the things where it's like, I'm just gonna take it 1 week at a time.
Yeah, you kind of have to. If you get too caught up in playoffs and differential and win-loss, it will consume you. I've fallen into that trap numerous times.
That happened to me last season.
You can ask the members of my front office. I started panicking after, because I had an 0-3 start in Mount Silver and a 1-3 start here, and I started to panic. I started thinking, well, maybe I should just step away from Gen 8 until I understand what's going on with Gen 8. Maybe I should do this and that, and it was just like, no, you dummy. This happens. It's a new generation. You have to keep moving forward. But, have you played Galarian Darmanitan yet?
I played it twice.
How does one beat Galarian Darmanitan? Because I don't understand that mod. Predict what it choice locks itself into?
You might have a... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say have like a really solid steel type. You have a very good steel type, but it is unfortunately only neutral to ice.
Yeah, and it doesn't want to take a superpower to the face. Oops, my headset just died. Why did you die? Hang on, I gotta switch Cammy to the speaker.
Powering on. Welcome to all.
All right, there we go. Cammy's back.
Okay, you back?
Yeah, you're back. My headset died, so I cannot. Yeah, I'd like to change the source here. Hang on. Switch output only. Switch device. Okay, so that should pick that up. I just want to make sure that the recording's still picking up Cammy. And I can't hear Cammy. Oh, I
keep cutting out on my end.
Okay, Cammy's back. Am I still cutting out?
I heard, am I still?
I don't know why I'm cutting out.
I don't know either.
But, you are now being fed through my speaker into my microphone, so... And Cammy didn't. Okay, I'm gonna leave the call for a second. You gotta love it when Cammy and I start having audio issues. I'm gonna leave the call. I'm gonna come back to the call. Am I still cutting out?
I heard that.
So I'm no longer cutting out now. But I can't hear you. Oh God, not again. Okay, I can hear Cammy laughing.
Okay, yeah. I heard like my laugh getting like fed back through your microphone or whatever.
Yeah, it sucks because I had to put you on the computer speakers, which means my microphone picks it up. And now I can't hear him. Oh, there we are.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
What a one... And we're only like 20 minutes in, and this is already causing headaches. Oh well. It is what it is. That's what I get for not checking my headset's power levels before I, record.
Well.
And not having a backup headset. And for some reason, Cammy, half the time you're not speaking. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. That's...
Oh, yeah, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's my stupid speaker. That's what it is. I am resetting...
What were we even talking about before the technical difficulties?
We were talking about... I honestly don't know. Yeah, this is gonna suck. I'm gonna have to kick Cammy back to the, monitors. Because my computer, Bluetooth speaker has a delay on it for some reason, and it doesn't start putting out audio until about 3 seconds after it receives signal. So if Cammy starts talking and stops within 3 seconds...
Well, it won't show up at all?
Yeah, it won't show up at all.
Yeah, that's not the greatest.
Yeah, so... Yay, fun! I swear, I'll have this professional YouTube thing figured out eventually.
Delay.
Let's see, can I change it to make it work? Try talking. Okay.
Alright.
Okay, so you're gonna... I don't know if this is gonna double feed or what, but you'll hear him talk, and I've set the desktop audio to get him, so it might... I don't know if it's gonna double record, like, through the mic and through OBS, but we'll figure it out.
And we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll edit it in post. Oh wait, I don't know how to edit. Anyways, what were we talking about? I honestly don't know. I think we were talking about how even though we're so far behind, we have a chance to still make playoffs.
I just kind of the mid-season, like, reset, like, re-examine your focus.
Yeah, it's a fresh beginning. At least that's how I'm taking it. We're 6 weeks down. We're both not we're both not 0-6 or 1-5, so we both still have a chance. But yeah, I think that's about all there is to talk about for APA side, anyways. Like we've both made mistakes this season. We've both had some issues. It's a new generation, but we're still fighting.
We are still fighting.
So last time, we sat down and recorded, we started talking about some underdog situations in life outside of Mons, and Cammy and I discovered we both played the trombone.
That was really funny.
Small world. But I did promise some fun trombone stories and some band camp stories for more of those like underdog moments and that. But I think the worst for me was first day of band camp, like first day out marching. First time, when you marched backwards, did you get up on your toes and like walk on your tippy toes to march backwards?
Yes.
Okay, so first time doing that, I did it. I stepped in a hole and I fell backwards.
Oh no.
First time ever marching, and I immediately looked around and I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
Not again.
So, like, where did y'all do your practice? Were y'all on the football field, or where?
Cammy, first I'm gonna say you are such a Texan. No, just the y'all. It was really funny to me. Being in the central Midwest, we have our things, like people love to make, like, I live in Iowa, but people love to say, well, you sound like you're a Minnesotan. And it's like, no, I don't speak like a Minnesotan. Anyways, so we did it on the practice field for the majority of the time, and then like 2 or 3 days before we perform on the field, we would go onto the actual football field in practice. That way we could get a feel for where it is, because the way our practice field, the football practice field, was set up is it was also set up for the marching band, and we had lines painted specifically.
Yeah.
Okay, it's, what was it, 8 steps, yard line to yard line, but then we'd have a at the 10 yards to 10 yards. It was 8 steps, I think.
8 to 5.
Yeah, 8 to 5. So 16. Yeah, so we'd have the 5-yard lines painted instead of like completely, and then we'd have midfield. We'd have a line that ran from midfield. We'd have a line that ran quarter and quarter, like the long ways, not the short ways. From end zone to end zone, we had lines painted so we could get our orientation from that, because sometimes we'd be like, okay, our coordinates that we were given to learn is, okay, you're 6 steps off the 40, 5 steps behind the right hat, or the hash line.
Hash marks, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's that's where we were learning how to march as a day in and day out, and like freshmen, first time ever out on that practice field, I found the frickin' hole.
That is super unfortunate. For us, it was actually different. We did our practice on basically they called it the band parking lot, where it was basically a parking lot, but it was made to like look like a football field. It had all the yard lines and hash marks and this, that, and the other, which, you know, I may or may not be better or worse than your situation, because we're not going to fall in a hole, but it's Houston, Texas in August, and it's 100 million degrees, standing on cement, like...
Yeah, it's hot. It's very, very hot. I trust me, I understand that, because, again, freshman year, my first ever parade that I marched in it's called Pufferbilly Days for a town, like, to my west, and the very first one we marched in, God, it was like 90 degrees and humid, because it was mid-September, and it was just horrible. And I remember being in that one, and they had me in the second row, and, you know, tiny little freshman here, first time ever marching in a parade, trying to think heel ball toe, heel ball toe, heel ball toe. Or, for me, I had to go left, 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 because the drums, that's how they would help us in practice with the drums. Is they'd have the snare just go tap, 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 dead,
Tap.
dead, dead, tap, 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 dead, 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 and then you get that rhythm, and it was supposed to be like in your head so you could do it, but you put on those wool jackets and the suspenders and the gloves and this plastic helmet that does not breathe. Cause did you guys have the like plastic hats that were leather coated or whatever?
Yeah, plastic hats with like the plume and all that stuff.
The dead crows.
Yep.
Oh, it was so miserable. Like, they actually had us open our jackets. It was so bad. And here I am thinking, don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up. Don't be a freshman that doesn't make it to the end. Because it was like a 5-mile parade route.
Oh, God.
But, you know, hey, I survived. Another underdog. Is he going to make it through the parade? Yes, he is. He's going to be dead-ass tired, but he's going to make it.
See, my band, we never actually did parades, but, like, I think really, like, the band would have, like, actually died just because of how hot and humid it was.
Well, especially down in Texas. Like, Iowa, I thought was bad, but you get down there and got that warm coastal air that's wet coming in.
Yeah, it was not uncommon for, like, in August to have, like, over 20 days that were, like, above 100.
Yikes. That would just be miserable. And, like, the other thing that just I can remember as well, did you have hazing in your band? Like, did they haze the freshmen?
A bit, not too much my year, but there definitely was some.
Did you ever fall for the "Where's your plume" gag?
No, we didn't have the "Where's my plume" gag. We had the "Tell a freshman that his plume is on backwards," because it's literally just, you know, a feather thing.
Yeah, okay,
but
that's pretty much the same thing, then.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, because, again, first time ever marching on the field, you're nervous, you're like, don't screw it up, you got this, like, don't be that freshman that makes the band look bad. And the seniors and juniors make it a game to come up to you and be like, where's your plume? It's not in your helmet. And then you immediately reach up and you're like, oh my god, I just fell for it.
Yeah. Another one that's pretty much the same vein as the "Your Plume's on Backwards" from our band was, we'd tell someone you got the wrong gender plume. Like, oh, you grabbed that's a girl's plume. You have to get this one when there's no difference at all.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's typical marching band shenanigans. I've told this story a lot of times, but I don't think Cammy's heard it, and I promised that I would inform Cammy of some of the shenanigans that being a trombone in my marching band involved. I don't know if any of this happened for you or not, but the trombone section had a special name for itself and special rules for marching, and we even had our own little motto, and like, it was the highlight of being a trombone, to be perfectly honest, in my opinion. It made it very, very fun.
I'm scared to hear what his nickname is.
We were the boner blowers.
The boner blowers.
There was one girl in the entire section, and she's the one that ran the section, and she called us the boner blowers. But then,
Nice.
before we would march, so usually what happens is we'd come off the practice, because we'd be on the practice field, then they'd line us up in rows, and we'd march into the stadium. Obviously from the practice field till where we got in line of sight of the fans. We didn't march and step or any of that. So we used to sing Sweet Carolina.
Okay.
Or Sweet Caroline, not Sweet Carolina. I don't know why I always say Sweet Carolina. We used to sing Sweet Caroline. It'd be because it was always, bump the Neil Diamond song. We just belt it and just goof off in that. But then as soon as we got within sight, we'd get called to attention and we'd march. We'd march down into the track and we'd stop at the start of the stands. And then we'd get to relax until they were ready for us to march around the stadium once. Or no, God, it's been so long. You have to realize, it's been 7 years since I did this. So, my brain just immediately rushes to all the things. But, we'd come in, we'd march around the stadium, and then they would, put us to where we could relax before we do the pregame show. That's how it went. And when we do that relax, we would huddle up as sections in that. And the trombone section had a whole list of things that we did. We had our boner stretches. Just to get ourselves loosened up in that, we'd take our trombone, put it above our head, put it behind our head, stretch out our back, turn side to side. We'd stick it out in front of us and lean forward and bend over to stretch our back out. We'd touch our toes. It was a really interesting sight to see the trombones do this. And then we would go out and do the pregame show. That was our pregame antics. Our halftime antics were a lot worse, and we actually had to stop when the school changed principals. Or we had to move to a different area because the school's principal did not like our motto. They wouldn't let us print it on t-shirts. Because all the sections would get together and have a huddle up right before we'd march, and then we'd break to the guys go into one group, the girls go into another group, and the guys say, "I'm a man, I can change if I have to, but not that likely," or something like it's a movie quote. I can't remember the movie, but we'd say that, and the girls had their own thing. But the trombone section would get together, and we'd all put our trombones, and actually I think I have a picture of it on Facebook. I'm gonna go try and see if I can find it. We put our trombones up in the air, and we would say, "Long, strong, and proud, boners rise to every occasion." I do have it.
That is amazing.
I do have the picture. I'm gonna see if I can send it to Cammy. Let's see if I can send this to him. Computer that I do not know what it is, so hopefully it didn't pop up on the camera. Otherwise, we'll have to cut that section out. Okay, here's the actual picture.
Nice.
So, and I'll throw it up on the screen here for people. There you go. So there is the trombone picture where it's all of us put together, and we just said, "Long, strong, and proud, boners rise to every
Boners rise to the occasion."
Yep. But then after that, we'd do our stretches again, and while we were doing our stretches, we would say our rules for marching, and there were 7 of them, and unfortunately I can only remember 5. There's 7 because there's 7 different positions on a trombone.
Yeah.
1 through 7. I can only remember 5 of the rules, but the first one was, nobody likes a droopy boner. Always keep your boner up, i.e. keep your horn angle up where it looks good. And so that is that was rule number 1. Obviously, you can see where all these jokes themes are going. Rule number 2, always keep your balls on the line. Balls of your feet always on the line.
Always on the line, yeah.
Yep. Balls on the line. Rule 3 was know all the positions 1 through 7. Those of you with triggers know 6 and 9. 6 is already a position we know, but 9 was a joke because your trigger lets you take, like, 5th, 6th, and 7th, which are all the way at the end. Like, you're at full arm extension, and it sucks them back up to 1, 2, and 3 again, basically. So, essentially, 7 would be 9. Or 6 would be 9 was the joke, something along those lines, but there was that one. Always check your buddy's crow was one. Make sure your buddy's crow is fluffy. Just to do a hat check, make sure our plumes are in all the way. Oh God, I'm so freaking old. What's the 5th one that I can remember? Oh God, well, it was something about our volume of how loud we were, because a lot of the freshmen had a tendency to pop because they were being so loud when they'd play.
Oh yeah.
Because when you play like a brass instrument, if you blow too hard, you'll get past the point where you're playing music, and instead you're playing a fire horn because you are just, or you're playing a like an AK-47 because you just start popping.
Our band director called that like blasting.
Yeah, don't blast. It was. I know the rule because it was involved. It was a cum shot joke. Was the rule, and I can't remember the cum shot joke. I think it was don't blast. No one likes a blast to the ears or something like that. It was literally a cum shot joke. That's just how our section rolled. So I don't know what you had for that as a trombone, but to me that was something that made being a trombone in high school really, really funny.
We weren't like, we didn't have all the jokes like that, but we were just kind of we were just like a bunch of goofballs, I guess. Like, we just had like a really, I guess, super like quirky section identity, I guess. Like, just really, really weird. Like, one thing we did was one year, our section leader, was just like a really weird, like, kind of weird guy, but he just not saying anything, no context. He just walks into the band hall. This is around Christmas time, and he put in with this hideous cardboard cutout of a Christmas tree, and it says trombone Christmas. It was like CHRSUMS, or I forget how it was misspelled. And then rather than a star, it was a blown up picture of the band director's face on top. And he just puts it there, and he's like, "That's our Christmas decoration."
Oh God, high school band shenanigans. What happens at band camp stays at band camp. Yeah, like it. The older and closer to graduation I got, the more and more I loved being in marching band, because you get through that era of I'm the rookie to, okay, shit, I'm in charge.
Yeah, yep.
It's like, I can't hide anymore, they're expecting me to play. And, yeah,
that's definitely part of the growing up that happens with that.
Well, in the worst part, okay, so when we float, because we get into Ames, we spell out the name of the city, because we were Ames High School, so the freshmen would be in a banner at the top, because, you know, it's easy to put freshmen there where no one's going to see them in a block, and have to think, oh, you've got to be 3 1/4 step off this spot to be, because we had rounded edges on our letters. And what sucks is we stand in place, and then we hit a certain portion of the school's fight song, and then we start marching, but we turn to the right to start marching, and then when we go through the God, I can't think of the musical term. Because we had the main portion, then we had another portion, and then we looped back and did the first part again and stopped before we got to the second portion. But when we looped, we switched directions. And I kid you not, if you didn't switch the correct direction, if you didn't turn the correct way when we switched directions, as trombone players, you're smacking somebody in the face. And it is the worst feeling in the world to smack somebody in the face with your trombone.
Get hit.
And then, because of how close we are, you really have to keep your trombone up, or else you're smacking somebody in the back of the head with your slide. We had to play over people's shoulders because they had us packed so tight, but...
Yeah, I remember that. Find like your window between like the trumpet players or whatever that were in front of you.
Well, and for us, it changed every time because we didn't go to the same letter every time we performed. It just depended where on the field we were as to which letter you went into, because sometimes the way the formation was done, my senior year I was in all 4 letters because they kept moving us around in formations. And so it was just like, okay, half the trombones are going to the E, the other half are going to the S, just because the way it's set up, they're closer.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, that's really difficult. And I still, now sitting here thinking about it, I can do the school fight song, and then as I get to it, it's like... No, that's when we're actually start marching.
And now I've got my high school fight song going through my head.
Yeah, but then it goes, because the pattern for the march is kick, back, together, up, step. And I can see because you kick forward, you come back, and on the back, you turn together, and then you take your step, and then you start marching, and I don't know, it's just stuck in my head. It's like the left, 2, 3, 4. Like, it's just those little things that you don't think you'll ever remember that just stick with you.
Did y'all's section ever do, I don't know if there's another term for it, but we called them trombone suicides, where it was this, like a syncopated, like, synchronized stand dance, where it involved, like, some people would bend down, and other people would have their trombone go over the other person's, like, body in the back around. Did y'all ever do, I don't know if y'all did anything like that, but...
We didn't.
One of those, like, oh god, don't decapitate someone.
Yeah, no. Our version of don't decapitate is don't decapitate when you turn around. And make sure you turn around or you're running straight into your friend. God, so many good band stories. My freshman year, we did Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Nice.
They taught us the Thriller dance. Like the high school, or the Seuss's and the drumline, we actually had a break. The way they composed the song, they put a break in it, and during that break, we would all put our instruments down and we'd do the Thriller dance.
Yes.
And it was crazy. And then we did Seven Nation Army, and as a trombone, you just love that.
And that's like the best, one of my favorite bass lines.
Yeah, and as trombone players, we get it. We get to do it. Marching band season is our season. We get to shine. Concert band, it's the flutes and the clarinets, but marching band, it's trombone time.
Or rainy football games were fun. Where because all the woodwinds have to put their stuff away so it doesn't get damaged.
Yeah.
So it's just brass and percussion going ham.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about rainy games with... I have such a bad memory. Well, it's funny memory, but it's such a bad memory with rainy football games. So the last game of the season for seniors. Senior night, all that.
Yeah.
There's a senior tradition for the marching band. The senior tradition is you don't wear clothes under your uniform.
Oh.
I left my boxers on. I did not wear pants and a shirt under, though. And it rained. And so they brought us inside. We had already gotten soaked. They brought us inside. They packed like 250 people into a band room. It's hot. It's not comfortable.
Oh.
All the seniors are sitting there with our wool jackets and our pants, and we're just dying.
Oh.
And the band directors are coming around like, take your jacket off. Take your jacket off. It's too hot in here. Take your jacket off. And we're like, sweat's just pouring down our faces, and we're like, nah, we're fine. We're fine. We're good. We're fine. And in reality, we're all sitting there like, oh my god, if he makes us take off our jackets, we've got nothing on. We're just screwed. And so that is my memory of rainy games, because senior year, my final marching performance, yeah. It was fun. And then, did your band have fun cadences to get on and off the field with? Because that was another highlight. We'd be marching. One of our drumline cadences was called Go-Go. And so at various points, you'd have to shout, go, go. And it was so fun watching the freshmen, because they're like, are we supposed to yell go-go? Are we supposed to... And then we'd yell go-go, and then you'd have that one freshman that's a second late.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, you failed. And then at the end, after we'd come off the field, we would do cowbell, which I don't know if I can find it. James High Marching Band cowbell. I'm gonna see if I can find it. That's 3 years ago. I'm trying to find one from when I was in high school, but I don't know if I can find one. Because it's something that the college town, I live in a college town, it's something that the college did. And this might be next time on, let me see if I can find it here. I'm on YouTube trying to find it. Please tell me there's one from when I was around. 2004, no, come on. Did we do it in this one? This would have, no, I would have graduated. There's no videos of cowbell from when I graduated. I'm super sad. Alright, well, I'm gonna play it, and Cammy's gonna... So we all get low on the ground for this. So then we scream faster, and they keep going until it hits the limit for the drum.
Okay.
The drum person. I'll have to send you this video because it's really fucking cool. I can't find It's probably on my Facebook again. I'll have to look on Facebook. But there's a video my senior year. Our drum corps, the guy that was in charge of doing that and doing it faster and faster, they flipped him upside down and they played it upside down.
That's cool.
And then after they'd finish that, we'd go faster and faster and faster. Then we'd slow it down, and the drum line would play a really funky, like, funk style drum line groove, and that was how we finished it. And god damn, I miss marching band, man.
There's some fun times in there for sure. We had one cadence that was super fun where so my high school was called Cypress Creek High School, so CCHS, and we had one cadence where it's one where it has like kind of a slow beginning and then just starts building and building and building on it. And once we get to like, I guess wherever like the drop is or whatever, we would scream "Aw CC what," and then we just go crazy. People would, like, as the drumline played, we'd start like head banging and, you know, just going wild. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like the same. I didn't save... God, I'm on Facebook for the first time in forever, and I didn't save the video. Instead, there's a video of me doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, though, but...
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I have one somewhere on my Facebook as well.
I might have overdone it, because I think I filled, like, a big garbage can, you know, the ones that you take out to the curb and that. I filled that full of ice-cold water and poured an entire bag of ice in it.
That's a lot.
And then pulled it down on top of me. I should have just gotten in it. That would have been better.
Yeah.
But anyways, digress. Band stories, man.
Yeah.
It's good to reminisce, and especially with a fellow trombone player, because they get it. You know, all the craziness of high school marching band. Except I didn't do competitions, so... Oh man. Well,
yeah.
We're reaching that golden hour moment here where I like to cut podcasts off, but recapping, marching band's fun. So if you are in middle school and high school watching this, by the way, why are you watching this if you're in middle school? Why are you watching my channel? Because my channel's not really middle school or appropriate.
Yeah.
Especially considering the Cards Against Humanity videos that we just recorded today. Yeah, just go watch those. Don't ask what happened. Give marching band a try. Seriously, it's worth it. It's fun. And those of you that are watching this and like this stopped being Underdogs like 40 minutes ago, yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it did. But there's still value to it. From the Underdog standpoint, both Cammy and I are sitting in a position where we know we're underdogs right now. We're behind in playoffs. We're not even in playoffs right now. If we make it, we're probably viewed as easy wins to some of the coaches, but we're just going to keep pushing. We're just going to keep going. So
exactly right.
We're going to wrap this. Cammy and I will be back for when both of our seasons are over. We'll talk about it. If Cammy makes playoffs, I'm not going to like, hey, come record Underdogs because I got knocked out. No, let's see how far Cammy gets before how far I get, or how far maybe Cammy and I end up in the championship match against each other. Who knows?
Who knows?
So we'll be back for that, and we'll figure out some more Underdog stories from our lives to talk about. So, you got anything to say before we close out?
That about sums it up. Really, just, you know, one game at a time for the APA says.
Yeah, one game at a time, regardless of what league you're in. So, well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.